No fears, no chains.
Invites you to live a life of emotional abundance.
Written by Vanessa Pisuto. Narrated by Belinda Sainsbury.
A pleasant good morning, dear friends. Today, April 25th, our devotion is entitled, "To Love is to be Vulnerable." Our scripture reading is from John chapter 1 and verse 14. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. God is continually exposed to rejection by loving us. He could use his infinite power to force us to obey. He could program us like robots. However, he chose the path of vulnerability. He paid the price for our freedom by becoming vulnerable and becoming a helpless baby. When he became flesh, the creator of life needed food to survive. The founder of the universe needed refuge. Loving means taking a risk. It is exposing the heart and being vulnerable. Fear leads us to hide and desperately avoid vulnerability. However, we cannot love without taking risks. When we wrap our hearts in bubble wrap, we keep it from working properly. In the words of the famous English theologian and writer C.S. Lewis, in The Four Loves, we find that loving means being vulnerable. Love something, and your heart will certainly be trampled and possibly broken. If you want to make sure you keep it intact, you should not give your heart to anyone, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully in hobbies and small luxuries. Avoid any entanglement. Lock it securely in the urn or coffin of your selfishness. But in the urn, safe, dark, static, no air, your heart will change. It will not break. It will become unwavering, impenetrable, irredeemable. Loving means being vulnerable. Love is not safe and can never be. Until we are in heaven, loving will always involve taking risks. It will involve choosing the path of vulnerability. When a friend speaks to you with tear-filled eyes, tells you her story, how could you listen to her without feeling her sorrow in your own heart? To paraphrase theologian Henry Nouwen, we cannot free a person from suffering without getting a little into your head and experience it too. Jesus did exactly this. The Word was made flesh, and in this act of supreme vulnerability, we saw the sublime glory of the Father's love. Dear Lord, thank you for making yourself vulnerable for me. Thank you for your love for me. I want to learn how to develop my emotional courage. Give me courage to love like you. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John chapter 1, verse 14.